As voters head to the polls tomorrow, our clerks are hoping they remember to keep any political disagreements out of polling places and away from election workers. If they don't, this year it will cost them. Tahlil Mohdeen live at the Dane County Clerk's office with their plans to prioritize staff safety. Tahlil?
Eric, officials say in the past few years, election workers have seen an increase in bullying, harassment, and threats just for doing their job. Now, ahead of Election Day, training for clerk staff means being prepared for the unexpected.
There's a lot of interest in elections these days all over, so that's been a benefit for recruiting.
Heading into Wisconsin's primary election, Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald says your polling place should be well staffed.
One of the benefits of COVID, there are very few that there are, is that we have recruited some younger poll workers over the last few years, so now that the older ones feel safer working again, we have larger pools.
And both the city and county are working to make sure those workers feel safe at the polls.
Just a few days ago, we did a de-escalation and active shooter training for the clerk.
That training was a first and came at the request of clerks who McDonald says have often been victims of harassment.
They have felt like, you know, a lot of times they're out there in a township on their own, and who knows who's showing up and is being, you know, belligerent, usually based on misinformation.
It's an issue Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway spoke about mid-July.
We are seeing a pattern of our clerks and our election officials being harassed for doing their job. Nearly a quarter of those hostile messages suggested that their targets should die.
And less than a week ago, the city council approved a new ordinance backed by the mayor that would further penalize disorderly conduct against the city clerk or poll workers and carry a fine of up to $1,000.
I was grateful when that ordinance was introduced.
McDonald says he wants people to remember that free speech doesn't mean threatening election workers.
They can be unhappy about how the elections are run, but the difference between trying to intimidate somebody is the big difference there.
The Dane County Clerk's office will have an emergency operations center running all day tomorrow, and the Dane County Sheriff's office says in years past they haven't had an incident rise to the level of violence or disturbance, but they are prepared to respond should it happen. In Madison, Tahlil Mohdeen, News 3 Now.